Hello there, people. I hope you're well. Um, my light is all wonky. I don't know why. It's always a bit, you know, but that's how it goes sometimes. Who do we have in the chat? We have, yeah. Where do I have the chat? Here we are. Jens, hello everybody. Hello everybody. Bowie, hi all. Good day, mates. It's Jens, and yes, so sorry I had to postpone the start, the start of the show because I had to. Uh, yeah, because I arrived about an hour uh, before my stream was to start. Um, just over an hour before that, so I there wasn't anything ready, so we had to make some stuff to eat. Those aubergines with feta and regular cheese and some herbs and shit. Not shit, but yeah. I think I need to fix the light. Sorry. Anyway, how are we doing tonight? It's still messed up. I need to turn it down a bit. Okay. Now, that should be good enough. Okay, and if not, I don't care. Anyway, how are you doing tonight? Or this morning? It's early morning for Peter. Okay, so the beef of the night is a conservative Christians are praying with the U.S. Supreme Court uh, judges, which is not a good thing. Nope. No, 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 no. So basically, the conservatives have the Supreme Court, in their pocket. So let's go. So there is a ministry, um, and the Liberty Council. That is the ministry is under the anti-LGBTQ hate group Liberty Council, and it says this is from LGBTQnation.com from a few days ago. How much is the right wing of the Supreme Court in the pocket of the religious right? 100%, I say. Some justices have been praying in office, at the actual office. So, anyway, Liberty Council has the Supreme Court in their pocket because it's conservative majority. So, in hot mic moment, that was okay. And then, according to any report from Rolling Stone, not Rolling Stones, But some justices have actually prayed with the leader of the ministry. Okay, and what is going on here? This is Mordan and Stefan here, by the way, and back with me here in the studio talking about this. Pete Buttigieg is quite a name for someone. In a hot mic moment, this from the article, that was meant to be off the record. Peggy Nienaber, executive director of Liberty Council's Faith and Liberty Ministry, couldn't stop herself from boasting about the group's access to the justices. And speaking to a live streamer, uh, um, Nienaber fell all over herself when asked if she prays with the justices, and she says yes, and they pray together there. Yeah, and if she goes to pray with a congregation, their homes, offices, or whatever, she said that they actually where that the prayers take place in the court, which separation of church and state. There, I just talked about this in a recording. I'm in the process of editing a video that was filmed on yesterday. So I asked an American how clear their constitution is, and because some of these conservatives, they say that their constitution, the U.S. Constitution, is built on the Ten Commandments, which is not the case. It couldn't be further from the truth. And I asked this American associates, how clear is it that in the American Constitution that it's a religious and there's a clear separation for church and state? And she said it's very clear, saying that should be a wall between church and state, but it tends to be that doesn't Peter says doesn't separation of church and state not apply to justice? These are government appointed. The justice system, look, the 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 U.S. Supreme Court justices are appointed by the president, and they are by law for life. I'm not 100% sure how many there are as of right now, the justices, but there is also in all civilized countries there is the Justice Department or Ministry of Justice, who is in charge of the court system. It's a government. It's basically a government agency, or government, not an agency, but government organization. And the state pays their salaries. So it's because they're state organization. If there is separation of church and state. Their religion, hence religion, therefore has no place in court. So, with the exception of swearing your hand on the Bible in many Western countries nowadays, with a religious option. But yes, it's church separation between church and state applies to court, to the justice system. Even if a conservative Supreme Court judge is an evangelical, it's their job to they go to the court and do their work as a judge, which is a secular profession nowadays. Peter says, I swear at the Bible, so do I. Okay, so. Three more days of work, and then 4 weeks of summer vacation. I'm just trying to get through that. Okay, and I think I need. Okay, so here we say more to the point. Okay, to say that this is a bombshell is putting it mildly for multiple reasons, says the article here. For one, the kind of access my neighbor has would be remarkable. More to the point, she's affiliated with an organization with all kinds of business before the court. The Liberty Council, the evangelical law group, is in business of bringing suits or filing amicus briefs. Whatever the hell that may be. Most recently, the Liberty Council has been boasting about its 9-0 court victory to allow a quote unquote Christian flag to fly on the city of Boston property. Yeah, the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court, they bought the Supreme Court to a 9-0 decision. And that's what I'm talking about, because the Supreme Court has the authority to bring these kind of decisions. They have authority over government property and what the government does. The group also filed an amicus brief in the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. It has cases in lower courts that will likely find their way to Supreme Courts, and if the justices want religious counseling, surely they could find other religious leaders not affiliated with the groups doing business before the court. Exactly so. But these dipshits just don't see it. They cannot see through their own hypocrisy, which is quite sad, to put it mildly. Okay. Okay. Any commentary, questions, etc., are always welcome at any point. And I would also like to remind you of my Patreon, and my patron Flems. Flems is a wonderful person. He's been my one and only patron since the beginning, which is 10 months now, I think. And I just had the very first Patreon special live stream, which from Stefan's Darlings and up, there's a an option for 2 live streams a month for Stefan's Darlings and up with all with that tier and up, and then I have for all the rest. I also have the option for the privilege to get the monthly live chats, monthly live streams for Hades folks and up, and then live chats for Biscuit Guardians, and then Baptist people get to have an exclusive Zoom call with myself and others of that same tier. Back to the article. Okay. Pardon me. I'm tired. Okay. Inevitably, the backpedaling and faux outrage began almost immediately. A Faith and Liberty issued a statement proclaiming the article, quote unquote, false. Of course. The instances referred to in the article go back many years to when Liberty Council assumed Faith and Liberty Prayer Ministries. Come on, you can do better than that. Bowie says pro-Putin conservatives think that greed will help them out. They're making the U.S. like Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, precisely. And that is okay. And even then, okay. Rob Schenck, the founder of the ministry and who turned it over to Liberty Council in 2018, was saying that he used to, even back then, he used to pray with the justices at the courts, specifically with justices Samuel Alito, Antonin Scalia, and Clarence Thomas. Niebuhr worked with Schenck. I worked for Schenck and continued with the group under Liberty Council took over it in 2018, as it was said. Still, Niebuhr implied that the prayer sessions were more current. Perhaps she was trying to impress the live streamer with her access, or maybe she got a bit carried away. Maybe she didn't distinguish between the pro-Liberty Council era, pre-Liberty Council era, and the present. Who knows? Her boss, Niebuhr's boss, Matt Staver, didn't have a problem with throwing her under the bus. Of course not. By saying there is just no way that has happened, he said. When asked if he had an explanation for Niebuhr's remarks, he said no. Okay, so they're like, never happened. I know nothing. I hear nothing. And the right-wing outrage factory focused on the fact that the media was complaining about prayers, which is hardly the issue. Yeah, they're just trying to redirect the conversation elsewhere. And the Faith and Liberty linked to several articles that described the Rolling Stone as article as calumny and elite media manipulation of facts. Of course, it's always the elite media manipulating the fucking facts. Of course, come on, you can do better than that. Seriously. All of these have been conveniently, and all of which conveniently ignores the obvious conflict of interest, or at a bare minimum, the appearance of conflict of interest that the story presents. Of course, when the wife of one of the justices is heavily involved in trying to overturn a legitimate election. Yeah, one of the wives, I can't remember which justice it was, but his wife tried was one of those pro-Trump, and it still is one of the pro-Trump assholes that tried to and still trying to overturn the latest presidential US presidential elections. Uh, you know, stop the steal, folks, and let's finish this. Okay, and it says lost in the shuffle was the fact that two sitting justices of the current court, the two who have been outspoken in their call to overturn marriage equality, still sought religious counsel from a right-wing organization in their chambers. Exactly. And surely that's a bright line that should never have been crossed. But then again, conservative wing of the court is all about crossing bright lines these days. Exactly. But in civilized world, the judges, they're not politicians. They're just lawyers, and they are not politically appointed. In there, and it's not something that you would typically see in civilized countries have to be influenced by a religious groups or political groups, because the courts themselves, there is the Ministry of Justice that uh, presides them, but they're independent regardless, and the state has no or any political parties. They don't have any any affiliation with the judges. Um, Peter says so many non-Christian ideals spouted by so-called Christians. Why can't Americans see this? I do not know. I do not know. But what could be um, an issue here is that they have confirmation bias. If a Christian again says and I quote unquote God is love and hates gays, yes. And the video that I mentioned, it's still in the process of being edited. It's taking me a bit longer to edit the video because reasons. There's much more material that I have to shuffle through, and it, there was a recording material was quite lengthy, so and I have no idea when it comes out, but yes, love thy neighbor, except if unless your neighbor is gay, trans, or gay, trans, or well, LGBTQ plus, black, Jew, Muslim, Hindu, something, anything else than white cisgender, white heterosexual cisgender evangelical American. Otherwise, hate your neighbor, kill your neighbor, kill thy neighbor. The Old Testament God, he's a hateful asshole. He's a horrible asshole, horrible, despicable asshole. The New Testament, the New Testament God, he's an ass too. He's the same guy. He's the same Yahweh, and Yahweh is a horrible, horrible thing. is deplorable. Yen says, or other, or worse, a Democrat. And that makes them a terrorist, in my humble opinion, says Peter. Yeah. Anything that is not, LGBTQ plus, if your neighbor is LGBTQ plus, Democrats, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, etc. Other than a, yeah, so you just, um, Bowie says, this love they speak of isn't love. There is no hate when love is involved. They're these so-called Christians are not create an annoying paradox. Uh, there's nothing more in Western countries. There is nothing more hateful than Christian love. Uh, there's nothing more hateful, hateful, and there's nothing more hateful and angry than the love of the Abrahamic God, the Abrahamic religions, of course, being Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. There's nothing more hateful and fear mongering than the Abrahamic love, which they claim to be love, and I must disagree. That ain't love, and anyone telling me otherwise are kidding themselves. And this is something we specifically spoke up yesterday. And Pete says the reacting to Bowie's message. Okay. Anyway, about the future. Um, as you may or may not have noticed, let's see. Okay, here. As you can see here. Let's see. Okay, we have the. I have some videos that I have queued up. I have October 8th. No, it's not October 8th. August 8th. I've got starting from the 25th. Yeah, the July 25th, Monday 25th of July, starting from there, going until August 8th. There are five episodes, which are, I think, 2 episodes of Random Friday, and then I've got yeah, I've got 5 videos anyway. So I've got one Monday news videos. I've got 1, 2, and 3, and then random Monday news. I got 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2 random Friday episodes. Starting from, as I said, July 25th, because we are going on a summer vacation for 2 weeks. 2 weeks to Sweden and Denmark. So I will not be able to stream during that time, obviously, and that's why I have recorded some videos for you to enjoy as premieres, and I will join the chats, the premiere chats. You'll see me there. Okay. Chat says pizza. Peter goes, who you bow down to is up to you. I bow to no one, least of all an invisible sky daddy. Who says that you can't say love but hate instead. It's a massive paradox. Christian need to get their shit together, indeed. And as you also may have noticed, I have hang on. Yes, next uh, yes, this week Sunday there will be a Sunday special. I went to Tampere, which is well, we with Katja, we and Bertil was there too. So we went to Tampere, which is my old hometown, and we did some filming, and I did some filming there. So, and please forgive me my shitty camera work. So, it's not that easy doing with that just with a tripod and a phone. I don't have a proper camera to use for filming outside of home. So I need to use my phone, which is not always doesn't always agree with me on things we should do, which is awful. Anyway, I have a close relative who is a very religious person. This person has a lot of hate. Uh, there are other issues as well. I have not really talked about it, and I never will. This is so private, but that's how it goes. I may or may not. I'm probably gonna talk about it to some degree in the future, but as for going it digging in it deeper, no. So touchy, touchy subject. But we all have these kinds of subjects. Okay. Do you have any questions, commentary at this point? Because otherwise, I might as well just keep the shorts, so that people would actually watch these, other than you darlings watching me live. As you may have noticed from last time, not Monday, I've notched up. I have a new subscriber. I have 102 now. Just okay. By the way, it's now a lot cooler outside, but I still have one of these, on my that it's a USB power. I have I have it plugged in a USB port. Okay. Peter says I have lots of questions, but if I start now, this stream would never end. Uh, yeah, says there's a video by Madas Touch about prayer indoctrination in a political setting. Uh, please Um, gosh, could you please send the link to me on Discord? Yeah, Jens, please send me the link on Discord, and I'll see what I can do. Who says I dislike a such a massive religious paradox. You can't confuse love with hate. Hate, otherwise it's not love at all. Exactly. Uh, the problem of evil is yet to be solved by Christians. Uh, but Peter, let's say you have two questions. Uh, so two questions, go, and I'll see what I can do to your questions. Just Peter, just write them in the chats, and I'll get them to you in a moment. Yeah, so anyway, it's curious that, okay, Peter says, who do Christians really love, follow, bow down to? Christians love other Christians. Mind you, other Christians of the same denomination, because the Christians of different denominations, they've been killing each other for 2000, since the beginning, since the very beginning. Who do they follow? Charismatic assholes. Uh, who do they bow to? The same charismatic assholes. Uh, why did they get voted into power in the first place? Because people follow and believe that those who have the loudest voice, and they we as humans, we have the tendency to confirmation bias. We are conditioned. These people are conditioned from childhood through indoctrination to view things, and we view the world through certain lenses, which are typically the same religion, the, the certain religious views. And when a person with a loud mouth comes in, uh, speaking the same language in a way that they serve the purpose, and they speak the words that these poor people are looking for from a political leader. So the indoctrination plus confirmation bias gives us the these people, these assholes in power, in my opinion. There could be a number of uh, other factors here at play as well. Peter says humans are stupid. Yes, they are. Louis owner the says uh, only the Christian breed, unfortunately. There are other, as I've been speaking about the Abrahamic three. So that breed of people are stupid. From the because the vast majority, the vast majority of people subscribe to or were raised around the big three. Flems, how nice of you to join us. Peter says religion is so made up. So why are people believing in that crap? That is another good question. It's the indoctrination. Um, a lot of people become religious because their parents, or at least the vast majority of the household they live in, they lived in as a child and as an adolescent, are uh, subscribe to that particular breed of religion. So there's that. You've been indoctrinated since childhood by parents, family member, a guardian, etc., and that's how you get into it. And once you get into it, you have the certain mindsets, possibly conspiratorial mindset, that the rest of the world is out to get you. The bad atheists are out to get you. The other religions are out to get you, etc. But have you ever really thought, looked into it, or thought about it? Have you ever seen a happy person convert to a religion? Uh, a happy atheist, someone a person who hasn't been indoctrinated to any religion, has grown up, atheist or a religious or agnostic. Have you ever seen a completely happy person convert into into any religion, especially especially the Abrahamic three? No, you haven't. They prey on the vulnerable. Jan says, religions that tells them they are chosen. Yes. And Peter says, in a land that values its freedoms, why follow any religion? Except, yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's. I've never come across a happy person who can. I mean, a person who had a very happy and content life to then convert to a religion. Because the religions, they prey on the vulnerable, whether it be child indoctrination, or then some adults who are in a vulnerable position. Maybe the family member has passed away, maybe a divorce, maybe an issue with problems with substance abuse, etc. So another, or some underlying mental health issues like depression, etc. Where promises of better life and better life, and seeing the prospect of, they promised, give them the promise of seeing the dead loved one again in paradise or heaven or whatever you want to call it. That's that's how you know that's how I think it goes. Anyway, I think it's time for me to go for today. I will see you on Monday. Monday again. Uh, your comments are not coming through. Ah, let's see. Ah, now they are. They were just held up for review. So okay. Uh, here we have. Bubu says, "I dislike such massive religious paradox. You can't confuse love with hate. Otherwise, it's not love at all." Uh, okay. Sadly, religious works like meth. It fries the brain of those who believe it. And sadly, religion works. Yeah, yeah, because yeah, I think I know what it didn't come through because it mentioned it the word meth. Uh, put it up for you know hung it up for a review, and perhaps my moderators could please Peter, for example, Peter and Jens could keep an eye on the chat if there are comments held up for review, because you as moderators you can Peter and Jens you can then click show or remove. So in and I trust your judgment in what what goes to be published and what it isn't. I Peter says I didn't see that last one at all. Okay, well, too many. You didn't get any for his review. Okay, well, I just went in to review them, but okay, too bad, too bad. Eh, don't worry. It's okay. I'll go because I have like there on my no, sorry, my right side there is the chat here on you Peter allowed two through. Okay. I have the just on Streamlabs the side chat there on Streamlabs. Jens, two different review categories. Not that I know of. Not that I know of. No. But anyway, I have because the chat here on Streamlabs it doesn't show the the messages that have gone up for review. So I I would have to go through. I would have to have the side chat, the actual YouTube side chat. Uh, here to see the review, those held up for review. Anyway, it's time for me to go, and for me, Bertil and Morran or Hupsa in Norwegian, and Stefan. Also, my mood squeak is here. This is because I have Asperger's. I sometimes have difficulty expressing my feelings. So this is good feeling and bad feeling. But now, right now, I have a good feeling, and I will see you on Monday. Before I go, I would like to remind you to have a thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment. I don't care if it's a space comma or something of the nature, and please share my videos, including this one. Bye.